I want to make one comment about a concern that Senator Fischer has on the IPCC. This is for years. We've addressed this. I've been concerned about it in my state of Oklahoma, the same as in your state. You have the same concerns, the same problems. Are the farmers actually taking a back seat? We addressed this partially in our WRDA 14 and made some exemptions of those under, I think, 2,500 or something like that, but it didn't go far enough. So I have to say to my good friend from Nebraska, I agree with you. And unfortunately, this is a bill that we want to get through, and it's been a lot of give and take. And if there's any comment you want to make, this would be a good time while we're waiting for our 11 to show up here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could make a statement. I do appreciate your efforts in preparing the legislation before us today. I know that a great deal of the work from you and your staff went into this bill, and I commend you and the ranking member for your commitment to the American people to pass a WRDA bill every 2 years. This bill continues the accelerated project delivery and construction streamlining theme from WRDA 2014. It is a critical part of our continued effort to provide the American people and the industries they represent with safe and reliable infrastructure. We can all agree that one of the basic duties of our federal government is to provide the necessary resources for commerce to flow freely across this nation. I'm pleased this bill provides greater flexibility to local, non-federal stakeholders. It will allow them to fund feasibility studies and receive reimbursement during the project construction phase instead of waiting until the completion of the project. In Nebraska, this will be especially beneficial to our natural resource districts. These districts are ready to move forward on projects, and they are best equipped to manage water and protect communities. Furthermore, this legislation includes real reforms for state municipalities who face unfunded combined sewer overflow mandates. Communities like Omaha, Nebraska, would be enabled to develop integrated management plans, which will allow them to prioritize human health benefits versus environmental impacts. I am most excited that the WRDA 2016 would eliminate the EPA's flawed median household income affordability measurement, which has caused great financial distress for fixed and low-income families. While this bill contains many great provisions, I am concerned that it does not address much-needed regulatory relief for on-farm fuel storage. During the WRDA 2014 process, I worked with then-Chairman Boxer in a good faith effort to address concerns raised by my constituents about the EPA's plan to require farms to prepare and implement spill prevention, control, and countermeasure or SPCC plans. We were able to pass a provision that required the EPA, in consultation with the Department of Agriculture, to conduct a study to determine the appropriate exemption level, quote, to not more than 6,000 gallons and not less than 2,500 gallons based on a significant risk of discharge to water, close quote. The intent of this provision was to place boundaries on the EPA and ensure the agency is not over-regulating on-farm fuel storage at capacities that do not pose a significant risk or harm to water quality. Simply put, if the EPA cannot find a significant risk, then the regulation is unwarranted. Unfortunately, on June 30th, 2015, the EPA released its study, recommending a minimum total above-ground storage capacity of 2,500 gallons in order to comply with SPCC rules. The study contained numerous assumptions, and it lacked strong scientific evidence for such a recommendation. For instance, 7 examples the EPA uses in the study did not occur on a farm or a ranch. One of the examples cited even lists a spill of 3,000 gallons of jet fuel. While I don't have the specific numbers, I would guess from my own production agriculture experience, it would be hard to find many farms with storage tanks filled with jet fuel. This overreach continues to weigh heavily on the minds of farmers and ranchers in Nebraska and all across this country. It's time this committee addresses this issue and focuses on providing relief. While I am disappointed the committee failed to address this important issue, I will continue to work with the chairman and our ranking member and all our colleagues to prioritize regulatory relief when worded 2016 reaches the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, and let me assure you, I'm just as concerned about this as you are, and we will be working with you, and we're going to see this thing through.